Hello, it's your boy Oatmeal. So I was like at this place. I was like in a field, and I don't know what we were doing. We're all together, all these people, maybe friends. Maybe we were together as like a camp or a school, and we're like in a field, and maybe we're looking at the like fireworks in the sky for Independence Day in the summer. I don't know what we were doing, but I look behind me and I see this guy. He's walking by me, walking behind me. We're sitting down, and me and other people on this row. He was walking by me, so I look at him and I was like, "Hey, remember the basketball marathon?" I want to say, good evening and good morning and good night. But anyways, so, I see this guy and I'm like, "You remember the basketball marathon?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah." And I was like, "Hey, what were you doing on that Sunday, the last day of the basketball marathon basketball thing with the Salvation Army at Moore Street?" And what did he say? Trying to remember. What did he say? But I'm pretty sure it was Blake Webb. And I was like, wow, did he survive? Did he go into some kind of protective service secret identity thing? Did he fake his death like Elvis and Michael Jackson or other people? If they did, I don't know, but they probably didn't. But it was very, very interesting, and I was like, what's going on here? I was thinking that, but and his, his face was a little bit different. His voice was a little bit different. I just said hello. I said, do you know about that thing that we were at? He was like, kind of like, yeah. And then he said something to the last question about what happened on the last day of that thing, the basketball thing with the Salvation Army in Oregon. It was in Oregon, and it was back in 2010, and so that was 8 years ago. And then there was a guy next to me, and I think I know the guy from school, from college, my first college, the Word of Life Bible Institute in New York. I was there in my first college, 2004 to 2006. 2004 to 2006, and so there's a guy, and he had a blonde hair and stuff, spiky hair. No, I was talking to him, and I was like, is it him? And he was kind of like, he said something like, maybe it was. And then I was like, oh really, or something, and he's like, no, it's not really him, I'm joking. And I'm like, how do you know? Maybe it is or something. The conversation was a lot longer than that, but I don't really know how to put to words the conversation. And we're like, I think we were on a bus we're on a bus or on a train or something. We're going to another city. Maybe go into Hillsborough or something. But I don't really know where we were or where we were going. But we're on like on a bus and stuff. And I was getting off, and then I was trying to go the other direction, and then there was like all these like big buses and trains coming towards me, and then I had to go to the side of the highway, the side of the road, and there was like a mud, and then it was almost like they were gonna run me over, and there was no side of the street, and they were like driving on the side of the street too, or there was just nothing on the side of the street. There's this like big wall or something, and then I had to like somehow go through the buses or walk around them while they're moving or something, and I think that's all that happened. I'm talking about a dream when I was sleeping. If you don't know, that's what I was doing. Yeah. Okay. So I'm Oatmeal Joey. It's 2018, February 22, Thursday morning. So I was just dreaming about about a guy that I knew, Webb. And as far as I know, he died one morning in real life in 2010. And I was there with him. I was at his house. And we were going to the basketball thing because we were in the basketball marathon, what do you call it? And we were playing in it and working in it and everything, and it was very interesting. And so that was my dream. My dream was about that, and about how maybe he survived, or he faked his death or something. I don't know. It's just very interesting. Very interesting. So I decided to make a video about that, just for a second. And I'm probably gonna maybe write it down, put it online, keep a copy online, online and offline. You gotta do that. Don't keep all your eggs or oatmeal in one basket. Don't keep all your eggs in one basket. Whether that be money or oatmeal, eggs, other stuff. If you're careful and smart, you can do a lot better. But you never know what's gonna happen. There could be a fire in your house, and all your stuff will burn away. It will burn away. It won't be too bad. Oh boy. You know, my Facebook tells you where I am. And so I go on Facebook, and people go to my Facebook and they say, "Where are you?" I tell people, "Here, Seattle." But people still ask me where you are. It's difficult. It's really difficult. It's difficult to be around people that don't know anything. Not to say that you don't, but maybe you do, maybe you don't. I don't know, but it's still difficult. Very difficult, I'd say. So here we are. We're living in a world full of amazing things. I was gonna make a video right now about why I'm in America and not Vietnam. Not Vietnam. Why? I was gonna talk about that and label the video that. And I was gonna talk about that. But I had a dream, and so I decided I'm gonna talk about my dream, and now I thought I saw Webb, but maybe it wasn't really him. It's just a dream, but so maybe I'll make another video about that another time. A video about Vietnam and America. And I've talked about this many times. But I'll say it again, it's very important to talk about. I kind of like to travel, and I like people, and that's why I travel. That's why, I was in Vietnam for 5 years. Yeah. And a lot of things happened in those 5 years in Vietnam for me. Me in Vietnam, teaching English as a freelancer, my own boss, James Bond kind of guy, Mr. Agent Man, Secret Agent Man. I probably should sing a little bit, but it's the morning right now and I just woke up, so I'm feeling a little bit under the weather. So, a lot of things are happening. I come to Facebook. I talk to some people. Some people don't seem to know what's going on in the world. Like you, for example. Do you know what's happening in the world? Do you know history? Do you know about the amazing things and the terrible things that are happening all the time, every day, every second? The perspective of all that is amazing. A little bit scary, but also amazing. You know what I'm saying? We are all in an info war. We're in this kind of battle. We're in a war, especially in America. And the stuff that they're doing, stuff that the globalists are doing is amazing. It's a little bit scary. And they're going to the next level a little bit. They're leveling up to try to stop us, stop the revolutions, stop America. The globalists have been trying to destroy the United States. Some good things are happening, some bad things are happening. Actually, a lot of good and bad things are happening all at the same time, and that's good and that's bad. Long story short, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to summarize in case you haven't been following. It's incredible. Yeah, a lot of things are happening all at once. More so than before. I'm Oatmeal. I would know. You're just a potato. I'm telling you, it's incredible. But That's why I'm here and not there. Mostly. It's very complex too at the same time. But on the flip side, it's simple. But I was thinking about it a lot. And I've talked about this before, but I wanted to make another video about it and try to explain it in a better way, and be more precise, be more specific. Yeah, because I want more people to know what the oatmeal I'm talking about. What the oat are you talking about? Oatmeal. What are you talking about? But maybe I'm just wasting my time. Maybe I'm just talking to myself. Sometimes I feel like I'm just talking to the wall. But I am looking for oatmeal. Have you seen my oatmeal? I mean, when I say oatmeal, I mean like a family, friends, special group of oatmealers, oatmealians. And then we can start a club, we can start some kind of party together. We can go around and do oatmeal stuff. A reason, no oatmeal stuff, green oatmeal stuff. We can go around giving people some hope over dope. Hope over dope. You want some hope over dope? Yeah. You want some joy over circumstances? Joy over circumstances? Yeah. You know? So that is one thing I'm doing that kind of goes with the other things I'm doing too. I'm doing a bunch of things at the same time, and kind of like I'm building some kind of foundation to prepare for the storms. Yeah, storms that are happening and coming at the same time, and it's incredible. And that's why I came back to America, because we are in a very big transition in history for the whole world. Anthropologically speaking, it's incredible things that are happening, and in the next few years we may see a lot of that in good ways and bad ways. Hopefully in the best ways possible. But we're facing a lot of obstacles. We got a couple different things, maybe 3 or 4 or 5 different things to face. And it's pretty scary for people. One big thing that we have to face as a world is globalists. Number 2, another thing is the jihadists, people that kill other people when they will not convert to a special, unique religion that's a little bit different than the other religions. in some ways. So yeah, those people that are doing those things and have been doing that for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years, for centuries and centuries and centuries, many, many years, for a very, very, very long time, these people have been doing that in many, many countries in the world. But we don't talk about that. You don't talk about that. You don't care. Do you care? If you do, then that's great. But if you don't, that's too bad. But yeah, them. We'll call them the Jiha people. Jiha people. Number 3, we have artificial intelligence, the AI stuff, technology thing. And that kind of goes with the first thing, mostly. And there's a lot of things we can talk about with that. And it's actually a good thing and a bad thing, mostly. And for the most part, like, we have the ability to make technology whatever we want it to be, as long as we take the time to get on top of it. And we have been, or some people have been, getting on top of technology. You can do that. And some people do that. Do what? They get on top of technology. Like internet, for example. There's one good example, if you don't know, right? Long ago, some people started creating the internet a little bit secretly for the American government. The internet was first used for like the military, for the army, the navies, the marines, air force, the military people, the fighting people, the government of the United States. And they started working on it and using it. It started almost 100 years ago. It was like in the 1920s, and it started then. But a lot of people don't really know that. But the internet started a little bit 100 years ago, like in the 1920s, a little bit, and just like the government was using it. And like then in the 1970s, they started working towards some kind of transition, and some people started getting more internet. In the 1970s, not a lot of people had internet in the 1970s, but some did. And then in the 1990s, 20 years later, it became a lot bigger. And even at that moment in time, the internet was still there with the purpose of controlling people and brainwashing people, and a little bit like cable, a little bit like some other stuff. But some people got on top of it, and we have totally transformed and revolutionized internet and turned it more into a good thing instead of a bad thing. Yeah. Amazing. It's difficult, I think it's difficult to be on Facebook, and I try to talk about these things. When I talk about history, I want to talk about these really, really big things. I feel like not a lot of people care on my Facebook. Obviously, a lot of people do care in the world, but I might not be connected enough to oatmeal people, other people who are interested in the same things that I am, and stuff like that. It's too bad. Alright, so this is a Facebook live video, and I'm just talking about a bunch of different things at the same time. I got some comments here from some people. Some people say hello. Ooh. Chan San. Pan Thiu Ung. Wing Long. Lin Hit Ung. Those are the people in the comments of the live video. Say hello and stuff. Hello, how are you? Some other people said hello and stuff. Rahul Gill, he's like, hello, good evening, sir. Where are you? Mary Lulu, good night, name, call me. Adam Ed says, good morning. No Coco Hennen says hello. What are you talking about? Where are you now? Said Rahul Gill. San Pan Phi On Mung Lum and Hit. Those are my comments. There's a little bit. Well, what is Facebook? What is it? Is Facebook a public utility? More so, like, more so than something else, anything else, like just a private company, because if it is, then what does that mean? What does that mean? It means a lot of things. Good things, bad things, maybe. If Facebook is a public utility, or if it became like that, then we got a problem. We got a problem. We got a big problem. Because what is a public utility? What does that mean? What does that mean? I know, but do you know? I'm talking about stuff. I gotta go get my coffee. I'm gonna get you some coffee. Ooh, something's going on in the background. What's going on here? So here's a quick recap, conclusion, summary of this video in the morning. 2018 to 22 Thursday, about 8 a.m. in Shelton, near Seattle, Washington, in America. I'm Oatmeal Joey, and I was talking about my dream when I was sleeping. This morning I woke up to it, like one or two dreams of Blake Webb, and he survived. I was talking to him about the Salvation Army basketball marathon thing, and then I was talking to the guy from my first college with the blonde hair, and he was like, "Oh yeah, it's him. No, it's not. Just kidding," or something. And we're like outside. It was like the summer or something, and then I was like on a bus, and I was getting out the bus, and then I was going against the traffic, and there was other buses trying to run me over and stuff, and those are the two dreams I had this morning, and then I was talking about the history of the internet, and what is Facebook, and why did I leave Vietnam, and why did I, Joey Oatmeal, return to America? Those are two questions, kind of, too, at the same time. Why did I leave, and why did I come? And I said, I did it for a lot of reasons. And like, for example, we're in a big transition in the world and everything. We are. It's incredible. And in the next few years, very, very good things will maybe happen, and some really, really, really bad things may happen too. And I kind of want to be a part of history, which is happening all around the world in some ways. Of course, we all know that. I mean, right? We know that happens. History happens all the time, all around the world. But at the same time, there are some fundamental things happening in some places in the world that are very fundamental. That's why they're fundamental, because they're fundamental. What does fundamental mean? It means foundation. It means the root. It means stem. It means it's the bottom, and the bottom holds up everything on top. And the whole world is like on top of certain things. And we're in a war, a big war, and I'm here in a war. And you gotta ask yourself, what are you talking about? You gotta ask me, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? And I'm trying to tell you about it. I want you to know what I'm talking about. I'm Oatmeal. I'm Oatmeal. You're potato. What does that mean? And the big bad wolf is running around. And he's coming at us with the little Red Riding Hoods, with little piggies. The big bad wolf knows you. What are you gonna do? Who's the big bad wolf? Did you see him? He's scary. He's a monster. Who's the big bad wolf? Who? You know. The globalist. Facebook. Twitter. Google. George Soros. Bunch of other people, bunch of other things are the wolves. They are the wolves. What are you gonna do about it? What am I gonna do? First you gotta talk about it. Then you gotta do a bunch of other stuff too. Always. Keep it going. Keep it going. You know what I'm saying? Otherwise, you die. You die. What do I know? I'm just oatmeal. I'm just oatmeal. I'm just oatmeal. And you're a potato. You're a potato. Unless if you're oatmeal too. Are you? Are you oatmeal? I'm oatmeal. You're a potato. Potato don't know. Oatmeal no. Oatmeal no. Potato don't know. Potato don't know. Don't know. You don't know. Come here. Come here. Come back. Come back. You don't know. You don't know. Or maybe you do know. Maybe you know. A little bit. See you. I'm oatmeal. You're a potato.